Hello everybody out there and welcome back to another indie comic book review. Guys, we got a lot of books this week.
Yep.
A few of them actually did not come out this week, but the books that did come out in this episode were released on
June 17, 2015.
And before we get into June 17th, let's get into some books that did not, like I said, come out this week.
Yes.
We talked last week about one book from superhero...
The Last Mandarins, I think it was called.
Yes.
Yeah. So, from Superhero Network, Zombie Affection, issue number 1, with a pull-out cover, which, Chris, if you can hold that side, yeah.
This
looks like this.
I like covers that are like this. I don't know why, but it really innovates me and interests me a lot when a book actually goes above and beyond, and it's really good because it really helps the artist out also. Because this is really showing off the artist's really great artwork.
Yeah. So it starts off where there's a big, huge zombie apocalypse.
But they're not zombies.
But they're not zombies. And there is a lot of some swearings in this book. And
but it's a zombie book, so it works.
Yeah, so so it was just talking about also before the zombie infestation was going on. And I really liked this guy's character where he worked from 10 at night to 7 in the morning at this store. I thought that was actually something else. And the two guys are Cody and I forgot the other guy's name. But here's some artwork right here, which is actually drawn pretty nicely actually. And so everybody's just acting weird and they're just wondering, what's going on, why people are walking around and doing all these weird stuff. So, they're just trying to figure out, because they don't know that they're zombies, like I said. They're just,
they couldn't sleep. That's the problem. They can't sleep.
And they can't sleep. So they're wondering why they couldn't sleep. They got into the store where the boss actually just died by herself or killed herself, if that makes any sense. And then there's just a whole zombie apocalypse alert that happens, and that's to be continued. So
I like it because it's something different. It's not
I like
a bite, it's that they can't sleep.
Right, and it actually explains what happened before the zombie infestation rather than just going into it.
Right.
So
I thought it was a very good book too. I really like the artwork in the book. I like the cover. And there's a preview for Paragon also at the end, which is a huge plus, because I know, Mike, you've been enjoying Paragon.
Yes, but also shncomics.com. You could go on their website right here to check out more of their comics and the website itself. So,
which is awesome stuff.
All
right, now we're moving into Image for two books. They came out, they're both the same book. It's The Mantle, issue 1 and 2. I heard Victor Dandridge Jr., who does several podcasts, and he does Black, White, and Red all over, but it's not Red, R-E-D, it's R-E-A-D. And he has a podcast with, I believe it's called Comic Town. He has his own channel. I'll if I remember when I'm putting the descriptions, because I have to start catching up on descriptions again. If I remember, I'll try to put a link in the description, but I'll try to remember.
Yeah.
He recommended The Mantle, and I gave it to Michael. I read it too. I think it's an excellent book, and I thought Mike would really enjoy it too. Yeah. So before issue 3 came out, issue 2 came out, I think, last week or the week before. Issue 1 came out last month.
Yeah. And Mantle number 1 is a setup of this book where Robbie is having some sort of trouble with his powers of, not powers, he doesn't know, he has this electricity stuff that he can't handle. So there's a group of people who are known as the Mantle, and the Mantle are the ones that choose a host. So he was chosen with his girlfriend Jen that was with him, and they tell him about, that he has powers and everything. And they also said that he's the 37th host, and he wasn't that interested because there's this villain called the Plague, who is actually the ones that kill the Mantalists. So him and Robbie have this huge fight. The artwork's amazing, I have to say that. And it looked like it was going good, but yeah, let's just say the Plague actually won supreme victory over Robbie, and Robbie died. However, though, there was a bit of a twist in the end when his girlfriend Jen also had the electrical powers, and then she is now going to be...
She's now the 39th host.
38th host. Because he was a 37.
Right.
So now...
And then the second issue picks up right where this issue left off, where now Jen has the power.
Yeah, and when Jen has the power, she's just more concerned about helping Robbie and sends him to the hospital. But then when she goes to the hospital, like, she gets, like, all tested because the nurses there weren't, like, so sure if she was just like a regular patient, like, she seemed fishy and whatnot. So the Plague is just going into the hospital saying, where's the Mantle? And he's just killing people one by one, like, saying, you know where she is, and it's just a total chaos. And it's a blood mess everywhere. This Plague is killing people. So the team that went there took Jen out before things got a little bit out of hand, and then they were telling her, look, I know what happened to, you know, your boyfriend Robbie. Yeah, Robbie, because I'm thinking Freddy for some reason. And they want to help her, like, we want to train you, you know, and show you how to use your powers. And, you know, she's being like a little...
She doesn't want to be involved.
She doesn't want to be involved, and she's just not sure about this whole thing. So after a whole bunch of senses, like when they killed senses into her, one of the...
I'll take care of that.
Yeah. One of the woman there that does the Mantle, you know, took her on this... it's okay. Took her in this journey to a different dimension, showing her about, you know, the OS Mantle, where everything started. The whole Mantle thing started all, and at the end, she sees Robbie, and then they get reunited at the end.
Yeah, but it's in this dream world where...
yeah, it's in the dream world.
Where, what do you call it, where all the other Mantles who passed away were.
Yeah, I forgot who took her there. It was this woman, I can't remember what her name was. Because she was a little, in the story. Because, you know, like she wasn't the type that, like, said, you know, because they wanted to leave her there, and, you know, instead of taking her home, but, you know, there are some good heroes that actually, you know, think good and stuff. But issues 1 and 2, really recommended. Definitely going to come back for issue 3 to see where this is going.
Alright, this is a book, I love it. Every month it comes out. Every month. And I'm glad that Dan, so far, I mean, I know at some point it'll stop, but for right now, Argo 5, issue 18.
Yep.
This was a really good book. It opens up excellent, and I gotta tell you why. It opens up with Law and Order. She's fighting, I forgot what this guy's name was, Copper Commando. And she requires backup. She can't deal with him. So she needs some mega strong hero, so she calls for Shazrat. But Shazrat doesn't show up. Gladiatrix shows up. And she's like, really? Copper Commando? This guy's like a level 1 nothing. What are you using, rubber bullets? Stop trying to get with my boyfriend. And she drops her into the waste paper basket and flies off. That was one of the best intros to a comic book. And it has nothing to do with the book. It's just the beginning of the book, period. That's just it. And then we go into the actual story, which is about this guy. Oh, shoot. Jamie, was it? Jimmy. And they live, him and his girlfriend live in a trailer park. The TV's out, so he has to go on the roof to fix the antenna during a lightning storm.
Bad idea.
He gets struck, and apparently that gives him some type of superpower. He goes into the shop because his girlfriend asks him to buy him soda. The shop gets robbed, and apparently he has the power of magnetism. And he takes out the robber, and the cops show up, but they think he's the robber. And he accidentally uses his powers. Enter Argo 5. And it becomes one of those moments where it's a mistake and where he's trying to, you know, not fight them, but it ends up becoming a fight, and then he ends up fighting them. But the cashier, who apparently has a thing for Jimmy, clears everything up when the fighting pauses for a moment, and The ending was hilarious with the girlfriend. I'm leaving that out for you guys to read, and I'm leaving all the dialogue out for you guys to read. I like Gladiatra's dialogue. She's very in control of the situations, which is really cool. I love Shadowrun. He's one of my favorite characters, and Chain Reaction had a really good chain reaction in this issue, and I'm not going to spoil that either. The artwork in this book is amazing. I really love the artwork in this book. They're really good. The pinups are really excellent as well. And then I love there is a plug for Sensational, the one-shot, in the back of this issue, and I thought this was an excellent one-shot as well. An excellent advertisement. The one-shot was excellent, but the advertisement, I saw it, I'm like, I gotta read this, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. It was an awesome advertisement. I would definitely recommend Sensational. Also, 5 out of 5 stars, guys. Check out Argo 5. It's an awesome, awesome series. There is going to be a collection at some point. As always, Dan and I will keep you updated on the live show. But until then, you can always check it out at argocomics.com, A-R-G-O comics.com. There's a Facebook page. It's all over the place. Go check it out. Check out Argo 5. It's my favorite team book out of the indies right now. Loving it. It's the Justice League without having the big names, and I love, and that's the best part because they don't have to follow anything.
Yep.
Awesome characters. I love the book. Can't recommend it enough.
Okay, so now let's get into the physical books that actually did come out the week of June 17. Starting with Mega Man issue number 50.
I think this is the last one for the... Yeah,
It's
this is the last
row.
piece to the top.
Mm-hmm.
The books that are coming this week starts the middle. We got the first, and obviously we pre-order books for 2 weeks from now, and that's the middle.
And this is part 4 of 12 of Worlds Unite. So Sigma has the worlds all together thanks to Mega Man and Sonic Man, who activated the switch. And both of them just start fighting each other while Sonic and Mega Man friends are in watch of the fight. Here's some artwork, by the way, where we get Mega Man X from the Sonic Boom universe, who actually comes in to find out what's going on, along with an Alexander Payne moment. But you can read the book to find out about that. And after Mega Man Sonic fight, they get into their regular cells, and Sigma's very upset with Doctors Wily and Eggman that he sends the 7 deadly sins to go after both the doctors. So Mega Man doesn't remember like teaming up with Sonic, but Sonic does because of the whole, you know, universe changing and stuff after Worlds Collide. I'm just really loving the artwork in this story. And, oh yeah, and also, yeah, let me show you this. They also show the Worlds Collide that Sonic explained to Eggman, Mega Man, about what happened. So Sally says that with Sigma behind all this, he needs to be stopped, and Mega Man agrees. But Sigma has a plan of his own, of having an army. So he's one step ahead of everything.
I like also, this page. This celebrates the 50 covers.
I'm going to show that.
I thought that was
all
awesome.
50 issues of Mega Man. And also there was a second story of the
Which
choice
focused on Mega Man,
about his origin, but also teaming up with Mega Man X of target practice and all the other stuff. And I thought that was actually something really interesting to read about, because I always wanted to learn how Mega Man became to be Mega Man.
It's kind of funny that issue 25 was during Worlds Collide, and now issue 50 is Worlds Unite. It'd be interesting to see if issue 75 will be the next crossover.
Mega Man and Sonic crossover.
I really like these crossovers. I think every other year, Archie took a year off before they collided again.
They did.
I think an event between Sonic and Mega Man every 2 years is really good, because it gives the writers time to think of a new idea.
Excellent as well.
And it flows so perfectly. I've been really enjoying it. I can't wait. I mean, they keep showing, the next cover is going to have Ryu on it, and it's going to start introducing characters from other video games. I'm excited for that. That's what I'm waiting for.
Don't forget the Sonic and Mega Man battles are coming out. The Sonic, the battles, issue number 1.
Yeah.
And the Mega Man battles, issue number 1, where they got captured by the 7 deadly sins, which is, I guess, what the story's about, because it was connected to one of the stories in the past. But, yeah. So here's your Xenoscope book.
Grimm Fairy Tales issue 111. Violet has been possessed by the Mad Hatter. We get a little bit of a backstory on when Sela was asked to take Violet into the school and she didn't want to do it because she knew Violet was crazy, and the mom, oh God, what was her name? What's the queen's name? Kylie?
Kylie or Violet?
Kylie, the other one.
Yeah,
the one
Kylie.
that's the queen.
Oh, yeah, Kylie. Yeah, Kylie's a queen.
Kylie was begging her to take her in. She's like, you love your daughter. I love my daughter, too. I don't want her to go down the wrong path. There's, she's already starting to have problems. You can help her. And in the end, Sela takes her. Unfortunately, Natalie does die in this issue. Something happens to Haley. I don't want to spoil that. I love how in this book there's a convergence and a dome. Arcane Acre is covered in a dome right now, so nobody can get in. And the ball of magic that's hidden on Earth is called the convergence. Good job, Pat. Great job. I like how you stuck that in. I don't know if it was by accident or completely on purpose. I like that. I like that a lot. The artwork is excellent in this book also. So now they have to stop Violet, and after Ali and Wolf get out from what happened in the last issue, it turns out Violet's chasing Skye around. She wants to kill Skye. The others show up to try to save Skye, and Ali does finally contain the Mad Hatter in Violet again. However, the Dark One knows about the convergence because it was exposed for the whole issue.
Wow. So
now at the doorstep of Arcane Acre is the Dark Horde, to be continued. This was excellent. I love Grimm Fairy Tales. Such a good book. Patrick Chan just knocks it out of the park. And this was a good book. And the next book was an okay book. So
IDW, they're back. Ghostbusters, Get Real, issue number 1. This is where the real Ghostbusters and IDW Ghostbusters have a meeting of each other for the first time. But before we get into that, we get the real Ghostbusters universe where they're going up against Natasha, who of course has these weird paranormal stuff, and the real Ghostbusters are taking her out, along with, first of all, the artwork. It has the old feel of the real Ghostbusters, and it brought back my childhood, because I could hear their voices in my head of
I know, right?
Like, right?
That's what I
like
and I will say one thing.
Garfield's voice.
Seeing Winston, the cartoon Winston, the real Ghostbusters Winston, next to the Winston that was drawn here. Did you realize that Winston, the one that's drawn in the comic books, has a really flat head, almost to the point where it looks like he doesn't have a brain?
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that is a difference.
And the real Ghostbusters, honestly, the real Ghostbusters look younger than the actual
because the IDW Ghostbusters look a little bit older. So, and let me just remember this villain's name because, they encounter with Protus after Claudia actually helped out the real Ghostbusters, since there's been an exchange of helping each other, and he sends the real Ghostbusters into the other world of the Ghostbusters, and they meet. And
they don't know it at first.
Yeah, they don't know it at first.
The Dark Slimer,
the Dark Slimer, and then there it is, the real Ghostbusters meeting IDW Ghostbusters, and what they're trying to do is trying to help the real Ghostbusters get back to their universe.
The one thing that I feel is repetitive, though, and I don't mind it, though, because I love the Ghostbusters. The Ghostbusters from IDW just met the Turtles, so we already had some dimension hopping. Now, the next miniseries for Ghostbusters, it's another dimension hop between the Ghostbusters and the Ghostbusters. I think it was... I like it. I mean, if you're not a fan of the Turtles, you obviously wouldn't have read that miniseries. I hope that through this miniseries we either get a Ghostbusters comic book ongoing again, or we get at least another miniseries, because I really am enjoying the Ghostbusters.
And Protus is actually wanting to know where the real Ghostbusters are, because he sent them to a different world. So there is a machine right here that refers to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The one that sent them back.
The one that sent the Ninja Turtles back. So now, we're fixing it up a little bit. They're going to try to send the real Ghostbusters back to their own universe. And
until something happens,
Yeah.
and now it looks like the Ghostbusters.
And now that
movie.
with the poltergeist going on in the Bronx, the real Ghostbusters and IDW Ghostbusters are going to see what's going on. And it's going to be a connecting cover because there's Peter Venkman, and Ray and Egon or Winston will be the next.
They're the next two. We just don't know
next
what
two
order.
that are connected. But wow, I am so happy to see Ghostbusters back. This is my best book of the week.
If I'm not mistaken, number 4 ends in October. Let's see. This is number 1. We're in June.
Oh, it's coming
July
next month,
is
actually.
2. August is 3.
So by September.
Oh, I was hoping it would end
Oh wait,
in
no, that
October.
don't tell me it's a mini. It is a mini series.
Yeah, it's 4 parts.
Oh, I thought they were coming back for real.
Well, they might. They might be.
I hope so.
Okay, for a first issue, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Casey and April, issue number 1. I thought this was an okay issue. I feel like Casey was kind of... what's the word I'm looking for? He was like in an I don't care mood.
Oh,
this takes
like
place...
uncaring.
Yeah, like he was very cold and very
Casey?
out of character, yeah. But there might be a reason for that. So, in the last issue of the Turtles, before the professor died, he gave April a scroll. Now, April, with Casey, they went to California, and they're trying to figure out what the scroll means. They're trying to get more information for the guys, for the Turtles. And it's basically like a road trip. This book really showed the big difference between Casey and April. April is very book smart, very smart. She always did research. She was always very into... smarts, brain, doing what's the word? I had academics. Mm-hmm. Whereas Casey was always running away from his dad, and the first star he saw, what he thought was a star was actually an airplane. So you could see that they're on different levels. They're from, and they even say it in this book. When they were kids, they were completely from different worlds, and they're doing some research. They end up in a diner where, of course, Casey gets into a fight. And then they end up at a gas station where this other guy ends up clipping the back of their car. And throughout this, Casey and April start to have little arguments, and you see that they're kind of drifting apart a little bit. So April decides to help the old man out that bumped into their car, and Casey decides to continue forward and do the research on the scroll. I like the artwork in this book, I will say. I don't love it. I like it. And... it turns out that the old man they bumped into, and somebody who could be influencing Casey and April, if you guys saw the next cover, it's no spoiler, is Rat King. So the Rat King is back, and now Rat King can really get into people's minds. So is this really Casey, or is he being influenced by Rat King? Is the fighting between the two characters because of Rat King? We won't know until... more issues come out of it, until the miniseries continues forward. But I think that it's a little bit of influence from Rat King, so it kind of explains Casey's personality a little bit, but maybe not, because it looks like they just met him at the end of the issue. So obviously this is more along the lines of focusing on Casey and April's relationship while also helping the guys out with the whole scroll thing. I like it. I like that we're focusing on the two characters who basically got together because of the Turtles and their connection with the Turtles. So I'm really looking forward to this series moving forward. A bit of a slow issue because it was really just like a married couple arguing a bit in this first issue. Hopefully things will pick up, obviously, as the action picks up. Yep. But I enjoyed it for what it was worth. Do you need it? No. It just helps expand on the main story and flesh out a couple of the other characters. If you're a fan of Casey and or April...
So they shouldn't follow that's the real Casey Jones?
I don't know yet.
Totally
no, I don't know yet.
Oh,
I think that the writer wrote the personality a bit off, but we'll see as the
unless it could be Rat King, like you said, that goes into people's minds. Yeah.
We will see. All right, Black Cross issue number 4. We're in Dynamite.
Yeah, and Black Cross. I saw this to be an okay issue. Like, there's these two detectives who are going in the woods, and it's really just finding out about this person who is on fire. Because remember that person that went in the lake? They actually find... Oh, go up. His name... No, it was right there in the middle. Gary Preston. Yeah. Gary Preston is actually the one that can control when the fire could be turned on or turned off. So he meets up with the two detectives, and they have a little bit of a talk about, how he has his powers and how he handles it using the powers. And we get a little bit of a backstory of how he got them as well. And that's it. It's just like a long, long thing. And there's just so much to take in as well, because the cops are trying to find out, you know, about the 2 deaths that happened, along with that guy with the skull. Not talking about the Punisher, I'm talking about the Black Cross one, just in case, you know, you don't take it the wrong way. So one of the cops actually finds out the person who was behind the killing, but things just go a little bit not so well. And that's the end. So it was an okay issue. It was a lot to take in though, but I'll give the next issue a try. If it doesn't hold me, then I'm going to drop it. Yeah, and this one right here,
Jungle Gym issue number 4.
Jungle Gym issue number 4, I have to say, was not my cup of tea this week. First of all, where's the story going? I mean, it's going to the same thing where Jim, I was a monkey and I turned to a human, and there's a whole fight that's going on where there's these things coming out of nowhere, and I really was a little bit confused with this book. I mean, I don't know if it was just me or anything, but I just didn't seem to have the interest. And then the girl, I can't remember her name for the life of me, turns into this mutated snake-like thing. I thought it was a mermaid maybe, but we'll call it a snake. And then it talks a little bit about Emperor Ming. You know, he's mentioned a little bit because after all, they're connected to Flash Gordon. And then in the end, Jungle Jim gets with the girl after. No, I really don't think I want to come back for the next issue, because it didn't grab me saying this was good. This was grabbing me saying, in a way, I couldn't understand. Like, I was trying to grab it, but I couldn't get a grip on the whole thing. So the next issue, I don't think I'm going to be coming back for it.
Alright, the crossover begins. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 10, issue number 16. Opens up with Buffy and the others doing some research on Arceus. They're trying to get more information out on him, figuring out if he's really such a powerful person or what exactly he is, if they can handle him. And that's when they start talking about Angel, or Spike and Buffy start talking about Angel. And Spike's kind of nervous because he knows every time Angel and Buffy get together, he's basically the typical boyfriend who's afraid of the ex-boyfriend coming back. That something or some type of chemistry, you know, sparks might fly. So Angel shows up, and Angel still again has. Give us just 1 second, and we will continue. All right. So as I was saying, Angel shows up, and then there's that awkward hello and hi between her and Buffy and Angel. And then Angel asks if he can have a moment with Buffy alone to have that personal talk. He doesn't know that Buffy's dating Spike yet. She brings Spike in, who's kind of listening at the door, and that's when the bomb is dropped. And yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. And it just ends with Angel saying, you know what, doesn't matter, it's fine, whatever. And that's when, after a bit of dialogue and a bit of back and forth, trying to find out more about Arceus and a little bit of a recap of what's been going on in the past couple of issues of Angel and what's been going on in the past couple of issues of Buffy, they get attacked. And I believe they get attacked by, we find out after they take it out, I want to get the name of it though, they get attacked by a... Mortiori?
Yeah.
And basically it's a suicide demon. It's basically sent to kill as many people as possible and then die, you know, until it's taken out. And Buffy, Angel, and Spike are the ones that are pit against it, so to speak, because Willow gets poisoned, and it's up to Giles to do the unpoison spell, or the antidote spell. So, you see Buffy and Angel falling all over each other while Spike is trying to fight this thing. You know, Angel jumps over Buffy to make sure she doesn't get hurt. Buffy pushes Angel out of the way so he doesn't get hurt. And then finally they figure out how to stop the demon. I'm not going to spoil that. Read the book. But, I I like how Spike says, "We were like the sodding Three Stooges just then, pathetic." And she's like, "Well, we're improving." And then Angel's like, "Yeah, just need a little practice is all." Mm-hmm. I like how the three of them are, and then they figure, Arceus is taking the fight to them, so now Buffy wants to take the fight to Arceus finally.
Okay.
That's what all that dialogue says, because I see you looking at it.
No, I'm just interested, like, saying that Angel wasn't so, keen about the whole thing of her going out with Spike, and I'm seeing the team up, saying, like, okay, let's put that aside. We have to think of the real stuff that's going on here. Let's just work together and just...
I don't know. I think this is a good test for Buffy and Spike.
Something tells me Angel's going to turn, and I just...
No, Angel doesn't turn.
Oh, he doesn't.
Angel's already turned once. I don't think he'll turn again. Well, not so soon.
Once, sometimes it can happen again.
And I love how Spike says that him and Angel are the only vampires that actually got their souls back.
Yeah, that is true.
So, I don't know. I like Spike and Angel. I like both characters. Who do I want with Buffy? I couldn't tell you. 8, issue number 5. We're in Image now.
Yes, and in 8, we get it's more along the lines of Nala, I think her name is, to reunite with I just remembered his name.
Joshua.
Thank you, Joshua. So Joshua is leading the army to fight against this war that's going on in the future, because the blue's the future and green's the past. And I believe orange is the present.
Yeah.
So Nala is actually, I think that's her name. Is it Nala? Or Niha?
Whatever her name is. Starts with an E.
Yeah, it starts with the letter N. And she goes back to meet up with Joshua because she found out to the realization that they were actually married in the different universe and everything. So she wants to try to find, every which way of how to get back to that universe. And then that's really it. Then there's an epilogue where one of the guys who was fighting against the monkeys in the beginning of the book capture him, but it's actually
it's just an epilogue.
Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to find out who they are in the next issue. So I found it really adventurous. Every time I read 8, it's a really adventurous book, and it really has disappointed me, and I hope it stays that way.
All right, Tech Jacket issue number 10. How is this book?
Yes. In Tech Jacket issue number 10, after it starts off with the origin story about how Zachary wanted to see the galaxy under a telescope, I thought that was fine, but... Actually, there was a real mission where I believe they're going against the Colossals in the galaxy, because there's these whole Colossals that will go on the issue. So Zachary and his friend, who he thought he was going to get together with, go to the galaxy together to find out more answers, what's going on, and also to find more the army that he can form with. And they're trying to find, I forgot what his name is, but no, you gotta keep going.
The Tech Jacket Corps?
No, not the Tech Jacket Corps. I'll show you when we get there. So, yeah, against that guy. Go up. Tech Jacket. It was some kind of robot name, and I can't remember who it was. That basically...
Zachary?
No, that's the character's name. Like, he said, like, you promised the universe and everything else. You left me for dead, and basically he just takes out Zachary like it was nothing. I just want to find out what the name is, because it's really just bugging me, because it does say who it is. No, go back. I think it is the Colossal.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, so let's just go with the Colossal. So, yeah, he just takes out Tech Jacket like, just, yeah.
No.
No, that's his name. Because the Colossal's the army that they were going up against. So Null actually takes out Zachary, and I gotta see how he comes out of this in the next issue, because after a bite like that, yeah, you're kind of not gonna survive unless Tech Jacket has another power to make him alive and everything. You never know.
Right. Edward Scissorhands, issue number 9.
Yes, and Edward Scissorhands. Remember that woman in the last issue that was like a little crazy and stuff? I knew it. She was very, very fishy. And she turned out to be a jerk in this issue. Apparently, she does want to, improve, taking care of Edward, getting rid of the claws to have regular hands and everything. But she just goes crazy in this issue. Like, she captures Meg and her mother and Edward kidnapped and everything. And the whole thing of, she's just wicked. This woman's wicked, and she actually was going to execute this other woman who told Meg about who she really is and what she really does. She reminded me of the governor from The Walking Dead for some reason. I don't know why, but she is sadistical in this issue. And I knew from the last issue she was going to get like this, and I didn't think it was going to happen now. But, oh my god. This is just crazy. How they're going to get out of this situation, that's something I got to read the next issue for, but wow.
Alright, we're down Valiant, Bloodshot Reborn, issue number 3.
Yep. Bloodshot Reborn. This issue is going really strong, where the agents are still finding out where Bloodshot is, because they think it's, his name... Ray. I just remembered. Ray. And he's just trying to say, I can't be Bloodshot. He's still doubting himself of being Bloodshot because he doesn't want to go back to the whole thing of killing things because he moved on from that. And the little blood squirt and his wife, spirit wife, just try to come to the senses saying, you have a mission to do still because... there's these Bloodshots that are running around as you, or there's something that's going on, and these people who are after you and stuff like that. You need to be Bloodshot again, because they're going to kill you, and that's it. So, it's just a whole thing of just him, going through the whole thing of, can I be this Bloodshot again, or can I not? And then he talks to this other person who is being like him.
And he's like, I'll never be like you.
Yeah, but it wasn't the first guy. It was this other guy who was trying to be Bloodshot also. And they have a little bit of a talk and, about how he thinks he knows him and everything because he does the killing like he does. And, well, let's just say it gets a little bit twisted. And Bloodshot actually comes back to being Bloodshot. Again, that's why it's called Bloodshot Reborn. So, as the agents are just trying to find out more clues of where Bloodshot is, well, they're just going to have to look long and hard to find out about it. But I think Ray has a way of controlling the
so he goes
Bloodshot.
back to looking normal.
Yeah, because he has red eyes when he's Bloodshot, but then he has regular eyes when he's normal. So
he has to get the other Bloodshots now.
Right, and then he'll probably become Bloodshot again.
Alright, Ivar Time Walker, issue number 6.
Yeah, to be honest, in this issue, I found it a little, not so great.
Really?
Actually. No, like, it was a little bit okay. Like, it's just Ivar who's talking with Gillid.
Ivar.
Yeah, Ivar talking with Gillid and Gillid's brother about, all these things about, like, basically, Ivar's just trying to let them focus because they're trying to do a critical approach to a certain thing that's happening to the universe that could affect them and all that. The doctor, actually, the nurse, found out how to do this UV thing to make a portal. And when the robot looks on, destroys it, saying, that's not how the way I did it, because I should know and remember, you're going to have to do it again, and that's it. So, until you've gotten it right. So as she's trying to figure out, everything, she's just missing Ivar and all that. And the portal is actually going to play really something in this story. I have a funny feeling. Then it goes back to Gillett and his brother, and the end of the issue was really twisted and everything of what's going on with Gillett, and everything's just getting all... let's just say that we didn't think Ivar to be normal, like a regular human, which then leads into the nurse finding out what's going on with the
time
UV thing, along with the time. So it was just half and half. Maybe it was just because a lot had to be taken in. I don't know, but it was so-so. I'll give it.
Exo Manowar issue number 37.
And this is where Arak and the army versus Dead Hand. This issue was really amazing. It's just them trying to take out Dead Hand, but Dead Hand has lots of things up his sleeve that could wipe out the whole universe, actually. And there is an event called Dead Hand, I believe, that's actually going to be coming out soon. That's going to affect both, not both, just Arak, Gillett, Ninjak, and so on and so forth.
The Valiant Universe.
The Valiant Universe. So Dead Hand sends out these robots to fight off against the Arak.
The Exo Corps.
The Exo Corps. I'll call it the Exo Corps. I was going to say Arak's army. But the Exo Corps. And that's really the whole part of the book. And Dead Hand, thinking that it was being sucked into Mars, at the end of the issue, after everyone's like saying, oh, the world is saved and everything, not until the end of the issue, because the end of the issue, after Arak saying, everything's done and crushed and all that, the end of the issue begs to differ because, and I knew this was coming because of the event, let's just say that there may be a certain way of that it didn't actually die, Dead Hand. That it might just be more along the lines of being alive, so to say.
Just in
online mode, and it's coming, and when it comes back with a vengeance, yeah, just like I said, with the Dead Hand series, things are not going to look good for the Valiant Universe, and that's going to be really something I'm looking forward to reading.
And with that, that's it for this indie review, guys. As always, don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline Zone 4 Podcasts, and Frontline Gaming Zone. Together, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Feel free to leave comments below, likes, dislikes, recommendations. Love hearing from you guys. And hopefully the Big 2 review won't be too far off. Maybe a night or two, depending on how much more reading we have. But till then, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we'll see you guys in the next review.
Later, everybody.